put it on YouTube.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So coming here, so as I was saying, I was about to share. Okay. So the idea is simple. It's like if I believe that if I'm the principle of the order block, or sorry, of the continuation block is that price is retracing. This is the best thing to expand, retrace. That's the closest thing that I know for now. So if I'm expecting a continuation block, for a continuation block to happen, there are two things. I need an expansion. I need a second expansion through it, and then I need a retracement inside the eye of this previous expansion as a candle. So this is a candle, and I want the CSA of it, and I believe price will continue. I need to do the same thing again. Do this, retrace here, put something here, close above it, and continue. So if that is the closest thing that I have to, if that's the closest thing that I have to a continuation block, what if in instances, so we have, if we look from the left, we have this guy, we have this guy, we have this guy. This is a continuation block. This is the continuation block down there. So the eye of this continuation, but it doesn't matter. There we close above this. So at the time in the future, I'm expecting at this high a down candle. It's just most times it happens. But then we have this guy, and between this guy and the next expansion is a space, kind of like a dark pool of some sort. That's strange because this is just one candle. In this place, I'm saying my mind is saying a lot of things. I'm saying my model there. So I'll put this there and I'll come back to it later. But that's not the most important thing. In this space, from here to there, is what I call an inefficiency. If this is an inefficiency, but not the classic inefficiency of a down candle needing a green candle, an inefficiency in ranges, I believe there should be at a point in time, if this expansion is truly bullish, we shouldn't leave the space there. We should fill it up. And if it's truly bullish, market will create in this space another bullish expansion and continue up. So for me, I have this down there up here. Like if at any time this year or in the future, we come here and we put a bullish expansion here, then I'll believe, and we see yesterday the continuation blocks that forms with this candle, I, then I believe we are going up. Until then, we are still staying here. So how does this matter and why is it that I said that it doesn't happen a lot? You might need to have more peers because, but I've observed that it is very good for reversals. So if
I
I
have a
know
question.
that, okay, yeah.
Can you speculate beforehand your what do you call them, continuation blocks?
Yeah.
How? What can you? What tells you the continuation block is incoming?
There's nothing. I don't know.
You don't know. Okay,
I
okay.
do
Then
not know. I just know that if I'm trading, that is a place. I use it for, I use continuation blocks for stop loss. I use continuation blocks for TP because
okay.
it means that if I'm, for instance, if I'm selling and I know, because for this week when we're selling with
Yeah.
my friends, we analyzed that, okay, on the 1 hour, we needed a continuation block there. So there's no red there. We needed a continuation block of this candle. And I think, and there. So these are one,
Okay. Yeah.
and this is another one. So if market starts, if we start expanding lower, 1, 2, 3,
Mhm.
price, the maximum I would expect price to go would be there in this range, because if we stop closing there, the next one is here, there.
And there is something is satisfying that level for you?
There is this, like, am I satisfied with these levels?
Yes.
Well, this is my understanding for now, so that's all I can do.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like I do not know when, but when I start trading, I know that these are levels that price can get to, but I'm not sure. And this is just my stuff. If you have anything to share, share. Don't worry. It's safe
It
space.
for me, like just looking at it and seeing you talk about it and annotate your chart, it
Yeah.
very much looks just like dark pool, CSD, closer dark pool, reversals.
Okay.
That is literally what it looks like to me. Because when you like, if you want to simplify dark pool, you could say you close above another expansion and you expand
Mm-hmm.
away from it. From your
Mm-hmm.
previous expansion, you closed above
Yeah.
to the first low above that expansion. That is where you expect your dark pool to form, and that level very much corresponds with where you expect your continuation blocks to form. So I don't know. In my head, it's simplified because when you trade dark pools, the easiest
Mm-hmm.
way to use them is if you close where your dark pool is, then you know
Yeah.
there's reversals coming in. If you close above that candle that close the dark pool, you know you're back to trading in the original direction, whether it be bullish or
Mm-hmm.
bearish. So
Mm-hmm.
and you use the equilibrium because dark pool is it's not necessarily like a FEG per se. It's more like fair value.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get dark pools without FEG, the traditional FEGs.
Okay. No, and that's
So
true.
that's what it looks like to me. That's just what I'm seeing so far.
That's true. That is true. In a
So
way, also, like
when
what
price is going below that line, upper line,
this one.
yeah, you are bearish, and you go to the next one.
No, when price is closing through this, I am not
Yeah,
bearish. It
you
just
are not
means that
bearish.
yes, I don't use because if price comes like let's find an example. It's like okay, this. So this, and we have, let me just play this back. So this is what you have. This is an expansion that is ending. It ends here. This is a continuation block. It's a bullish continuation block. There is nothing that because price closed into the high of this candle, that signifies to me we are bearish because it's just a close. Because I believe that I call this a bullish continuation because it's the opposite. Because the way I use it, I believe if we make a CST of this guy, we are going up. But how do I trust that? Because especially when you're in the lower time frame, you have a lot of false positive in both directions. How do I know that this is the one that sends my price up?
Well,
And
it didn't close below the last one, the last bearish candle.
it didn't close below this bearish candle.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
yeah, that's
Okay.
the order block.
This, oh, okay. Well, the definition of an order block, for me, it's hard for me to look at. Thank you. I will pay attention to that to see what is happening. But for me, it's hard to consider this as an order block. Simply, of course, I get it. Because I get this because this is the last down candle that before this liquidity was taken. But for me also, I usually like my order blocks to take a liquidity. This took nothing. But then there are different
But the next candle did. The next candle did.
This one took this
Yeah,
low. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
not on this time frame. It did not for me. The next candle was just it took liquidity, but how do I say it? The definition of order block that I use has to be that the candle that I'm considering took liquidity. I'm not saying what you're saying
Oh,
is wrong.
okay.
If you get me, that's the definition I'm closest with or that I understand
Okay. For
quickly
me,
that I
it's an
can come
order
to the
block.
chart.
For me. Okay.
Okay. For use an order block. Now, what you said, I would register it because that's very interesting. I've not looked at it from a perspective that if this closes below the whatever last down candle that sent prices above, then that is interesting. That is very interesting to me.
What did Camaro say?
He said that he is not bearish, yeah, simply because this continuation block did not close below the other block. So if it had done that, then it's a sign of bearishness. But that's interesting because I've never considered that. But that's interesting. So to be for study. Coming back to this, let me just quickly show us because I don't think I can keep talking. So continuation, but this, once this happens at 1 o'clock on Monday last week, I believe, we have this gap there. We have like this dark pool, like you were mentioning, CK, which is true. It's like a dark pool for expansions, but not just a candle, but with an expansion, because this only matters to me if it's an expansion. I'm bearish, not bearish. I believe that price would come back here to put a bullish expansion. All right. And if I can find something, so I remember that on this day, I took a sell inside here on Tuesday. This. So I went through the pain of explaining continuation blocks because every continuation block need two setups. So this and this. So I'm going to sell inside here. If on the 5 minutes, on the 4 hour, believing that whatever I sell, price will come down here for me. If it hits this place and it doesn't reject, the next place might be this, this, and this. But I do not know. If I'm scalping, this is more than enough for me to scalp, let's say on Tuesday, so somewhere there. Price does that because I know, and eats it and even went beyond. And I'm saying this most times in a week, if you have more than enough pairs, you would find this there, something like this. And if price is bullish enough, you can sell it and you can buy towards it. Let's remove all this stuff and let's go back a minute.
So is this in order to find buyers entry? Which one is it for you?
This is more like if I'm bullish. So I truly believe in the concept of you do not sell or you do not we like reversals as ICT traders or TCM because that's what most of the setups are about. I believe instead of just selling or looking for a retracement, where does price wants to go? That's the idea. So this is not really a bias. It's more like if I believe price is bullish, then I don't want to have inefficiencies behind me because I'm putting my stops above inefficiencies that price has to feel, in quotes. I'm not saying must feel, that I believe price would feel. So if I'm on the hourly, so I'm using hourly, I'm going to drop to lower time frame to see how I would trade it. But just because it is, if I'm buying here because I'm seeing something, I'm not getting excited. Some might say, oh, you're not a bot, but we didn't know what price would do when it was there. I didn't know price would retrace so deep to where it got to there. I didn't know that. That's when my friend was sharing with me that price might get there. I was like, yes, it makes sense, but I didn't know it was going to get that deep. But let's see a minute. Let's come back here for a minute. So this is there. Same thing happened here.
You don't spend much time on the daily, do you?
On the daily for NAS, no, because it's very bullish. There's enough. As I was saying, it's until this is the week we had our first bearish expansion on the daily. So nope.
I got you.
So it's like prices going up until later. So we have expansion. So this is where it differs. Of course, in this instance, this also is like a dark pool because there's a first. Actually, no, that's not true. If you are thinking about dark pool, that will have been the dark pool, the first eye above it. But inefficiency. This happened, that happened. As of now, I did not know. This happened, we continued. There is nothing in here that said I should sell. I didn't sell this, but and I might have gotten it or not gotten it. But what I'm trying to say is that when this happened, maybe there was something there that asked you to sell. But if I sold on this day, this will have been my target. If it failed, there's not a problem. It's not afraid to take losses. This is the next target. Why? It has to be filled up. But it didn't get filled up eventually until there. In this instance, after this, we have expansion. This is now my continuation block. If we CST this guy, I would buy. Simple as that. If not, price is not ready to go up. That's what I was trying to say.
That makes sense.
After this happened, what was that? After this expansion, so this space, we said this space was inefficiency. It needed an expansion for me to have a continuation block. Remember, continuation block is not reversal. It means I want to continue there in the trend that I feel market is operating in at the time. What happens next? We have this. We have this. After this. So I'm anticipating that there might be a green candle there that will close inside there. There. This.
Now you're bullish.
Is my no, I'm not bullish. I don't have
bullish
anything.
now? Okay.
This is a bearish continuation block. This is a bullish continuation block. Now I have invalidation. If anything, on this day, I was bearish actually, because I was too fast. I had considered not too fast. And I'll show you my thesis. Expansion, expansion, continuation block. Bearish continuation block. We created an expansion inside this yellow box because on this candle, not this candle, we created it there. I didn't know, so if I drag this back, I said before we have all this candle, I said there's going to be an expansion inside here for me to create a CB, a continuation block with this guy. We had that expansion here. You didn't know, if you're trading this life, you don't know if the next candle would be a down candle or it would be a green candle. So as at this point, my range was fulfilled, my conditions was fulfilled. And as at that time, there was this, I said buy side. There was this continuation block, expansion goes through it. So there was this guy there. And so when we had this and we had this, and I said that this was a continuation block, this is a bearish continuation block, I just sold and put my stop above here because this is invalidation. If it closes above it, I took a loss and I would buy instantly. Simple. Target. Same thing. If this price wants to continue down, I need a continuation block to form there. I'm not saying deep. I don't know how deep it will go. First target there. Second one, if it's going deeper, there. Third one might be lower. There. It's an anticipation. Price can go deep, I don't know, or it can stay there. Lowest anchoring foot there. Simple. And I solve this. First confirmation, if we remove this, it's not above, was make a CST of this new one. We did that. So if price comes back here, let's say you didn't sell this first one. You didn't sell it. Now the first continuation block was the bearish one. That was the first one that got confirmed, this one. So I want to sell. I'm bearish. My stop there, just above it, because price can weak it.
So you don't wait for retracement in that point?
I waited for retracement. I didn't sell. It's on the hourly. Oh, hourly closed.
Okay.
So it happened dummy news. This one dummy news. If this closed there, that was all. And just interesting that the news, I think it was CPI or maybe FOMC, I don't know, reached there.
FOMC was it?
It didn't close, but that's the trade. And it's just, how do I say it? There's always this need to be right. Just 1 minute before I play it. And this continuation makes me to realize I'm not going to be right. I'm going to miss maybe more than, so if your edge wins more than 50% of the time, just stay a little bit, 51%, you have an edge. So I try to look for 2 continuation blocks when I want to trade. One to confirm that prices continue and one for invalidation. And if it invalidates, I just change my bias and I keep buying or selling in that direction. Before all this happened, we had an idea of what price was going to do or what we are expecting it to do. And we said it closes above this, it wants to go up. There. And you can find, but the most important thing is trading. If you're seeking reversals, look for this in every week in an hourly chart. Then you can jump, and then you can jump to the 5 minute, and price would give you. On the Nasdaq, because I know where it is, because I studied this, so I know what was there. 1 minute there. This there. Retrace it. This there. Retraces and puts this. If this is filled and price is going up, where would price go? Would fill this up. This was filled a little there. What do we need here? The idea, and this is why I like continuation. But like I said, if anybody has an idea or what I'm missing or they've seen this thing, please let me know. Let's talk. We need are those blue lines? We need continuation blocks. We need this there. We need this there. And what does price do? We need where? Gave you 1, 2, 3, 4 in one candle. Simple. Next time we close above this, or we put 1 there because it's a little expansion, it's a little expansion. So we need a green candle there too. If we CSD it, so if we CSD this guy, so before everything printed, we anticipated that there was going to be a green candle there. So if we CSD it, just maybe we are going down. Where will your stop loss be? So your sell will be like this. Wrong stuff. I don't care about big stop because I trade CFDs. So, and my first thing would be we are closing below this or we are going for that. And if it doesn't, I want to do this. Stop here. I usually allow for allowance. It's very big and I'm targeting something up, maybe 250 point, whatever. And that's just it. We have this sell first. All right, I'm going to sell and continue. It was a loss. I accepted it. There's no problem. Doesn't matter. For me, it's like I had an invalidation. It was just invalidated. I can sell there. That's an entry. But I also know that price can go below me up to this extent. It can even come down here. So I play with my stop loss. I had more positions. It depends on how it goes. I don't know if this would have lost before it went up. No, it did not. And if you play it, and this is the Nasdaq, let's go to Euro on the daily. We trace back into it. AUD. I think it was starting this week. If this is still there or not. Sorry, I cannot delete this because I have analysis on my chart. So this is from this to this, but it depends on how you view it. That is there. Expansion, fuse it. This I took this week, so I remember it very well. So I will just change the, I see, does that have it in it? No. Oh no, the guy doesn't have it as big as, but it's just very small. So I'll look for a different, maybe forex.com. Yeah. There. Expansion, I just went to the 5 minutes, saw it, played it down there. I think last week, Friday, similar thing was it after the, yes, during this day. This last Friday, during the CPI news, IOFOMC, we had this little one, we traced into it. Don't forget, the idea is that I believe that we will still print a green candle here. on my feed. So I'll come back to this guy. And I was there. On my feed, we needed to put this here. We did it here. Immediately, I was there. So at this yellow spot, or let me change it to, let me just turn this off for a minute. So at this yellow box, I'm expecting a green expansion. We had it here. And after the news, I just dropped to 1 minute. This had happened. So I knew my expectation. I was expecting the 1 hour. The 1 hour gave me. And after the news, we had all this. And I just expansion. We need what? A CB. We had it here. Expand above it, invalidation. This came with my own strategy of my own entry model. T's came into it, sold, and I put my stop there. And I took this full trade. And you could be adding, you could be selling because now you have an expansion. You could be selling expansion through it, bearish continuation block, add another position here. Expansion through it, nothing maybe there, add another position into it. Expansion through it. This weaks it, so not valid for me. Last sell after this. And that's all.
I don't know if you realize, but you're giving a whole new definition to mitigation blocks.
Okay, maybe. But
That's very interesting.
it's just, but if you can find, if you can on the hour, if you can find this little inefficiency, it was there on gold, right? I sold into it. I expected us to still create a green one into it. I bought into it. I bought this here. You see that I have invalidation on both sides, bearish, bullish, before it's confirmed because my own model says I can buy this. I bought here and I exited for $20. That's 200 points. And I exited. And I was expecting this. And even though we had this continuation block, I was CST, I wasn't convinced by the wicks. So I held. And even if I lost, who cares? It's a loss. Same, my idea said I could still buy, so I went. But that is just, so we had on euro, we had on, and for example, I was about to show this. So this was on euro. 1 minute. Oh, no. This buy on Monday. Why? I looked, if you look inside there, last week, there was a little one there. Pre-FOMC. So on NASDAQ, this 2 weeks ago, this was a sell. This week was down first. On gold, it went down, it went up. I think, well, we can just confirm it. This was it, up first. What was happening? We had to fill this guy. On the euro, I bought this, of course, with what I was expecting, because we had filled it and I was expecting us to fill up this little part that was left with green. Expansion, continuation block. Not valid, got validated here for a buy. Expansion, continuation block. Your total invalidation. Bearish, bullish. Got here. Buy. Invalidation there. This ran up before it came down. We can see it on the lower time frame. Doesn't, just to confirm that it went up, down. And someone would wonder, why do I stay on one time frame? I don't have the time for lower time frame, and it doesn't matter. One time frame, double time frame, doesn't, I don't care that much. expansion, your winners, your longest one comes back here. This will have been very painful because it'll have wicked you out depending on where you put your stop. But my stop would definitely be above this. It's not that it was definitely above this because I took this, because I am expecting there's even far more because I was expecting that we could still close this. But in case we did not, there, there, there. Done. And so when I started this week, to come back to you, CK, when I was telling that I started this week bullish, was because I was still expecting a little bit of this to be filled because I didn't believe that Euro was going to shit the bed like that. So same idea. I bought somewhere there according to my rules. My entry rules is very clear. I do the same thing again. And I also use continuation blocks as an SL. So expansion, expansion, expansion. This was the last expansion that closed through a different expansion. This didn't close below this. So if this was here, this candle's low, even though my entry was on this there, I couldn't use this. I'm not crazy. And I just put it there because this is the bearish continuation block. CSD dies. But there are, I don't want to be like, oh, a CS of a CV means that we're going up or something. No, I'm trying, and that's why I'm sharing a lot with everyone. I share a lot with everyone because I believe if we collaborate, if we see ideas, then it is easy for us to say, okay, this happened. So I'm not joking, I truly believe there is something called, there's continuation blocks. And it's not about me. You have to go watch the first series of Kish's, of the August series, I think the day number 2. That day we all had this problem where we were talking about, we're expecting price to reverse. And instead, price kept going on. And Kish mentioned that, no, there is a down candle at the high that has been efficient so far. Why do you think just because we printed one down candle, price is going down? There is no reason. And I don't know. I don't know. For some reasons, that was just a light bulb in my head. Like, wait a minute. And so initially started with the first down candle, but then I realized I trade expansions and I don't want to change my expansions for anything because there are so many models. Okay, I don't want to change expansions. I would treat everything. You see that since Monday I've been speaking, I've not shown you any other thing else apart from expansions because it's easy that way. And then it started with that. And then coming back to the NASDAQ, and I saw, wait a minute, it's like a dark pool for expansions exist, and price respects it a lot. And we can go to any random stuff. And I was like, okay, this is nice. And let's drop to, I want to show an indicator. This is not mine. I cannot share it. It's not for me. And let's go to the 1 minute.
So we've got about 4 minutes left.
Oh, okay. I just want to show you how other ways you can. So this is like an hourly rotation. Doesn't matter. And let's say the principle is simple. You want what I want when I'm on the lower time frame, I can advise is if you see a lower one, you want an expansion. You want an expansion. This is the candle that closed back into it. Once again, please, this may be wrong until Kish says it's right or something or points out. Please don't crucify me. But we are experimenting. Why not? This closed back into it. But is it going down? It's beautiful when I see that it went down. Oh, yes, I was right. But no, I was risking a lot. Why? Where is the invalidation? Because if this runs against me, where will I put my stop loss? So I need 2 continuation blocks when I'm on the, because I as lovely as it was and I got drunk on it, I started struggling because I didn't have proper invalidation. If this is the first continuation block, this green candle, and I do not have a bearish clock, then just wait for the next one to happen.
Can I mention something?
Yes, please.
Do you see the swing low to the left?
This one?
Left? Yes.
Yeah.
And now to the point where you are showing us the action. Those 2 down candles. those closed below that one. And at that point, I would be, for my part, again bearish
Yes. And that's
until
okay.
until the price closes above these two up close candles. These two up close candles to the left, very small. No. Yes, there. Left. A little bit more left.
Okay,
More.
this one.
Yes, these ones.
Mhm.
And the green candle didn't close above. That was for me another confirmation price will go lower.
And that is, and I love it. And that's true. Really, really, that's brilliant because
Pure mechanical.
I tell myself before I go into a market, where is invalidation? I do not believe I'm right. I just believe, but I know one thing. When price is breaking out of an efficient range,
I'm
then
not saying you are wrong.
no.
You
I'm
are.
not talking about you. I just continued my stuff. No.
Okay.
It's like, yeah. So how then can you see? So if someone asks, if we started from this place, and someone is asking me, is this market efficient? Yes, no, maybe. We want red candles too. So we want these red candles to have an opposing green candles. Yes, but I also believe in is an idea. Like I said, Kisha's not approved, but I believe that we have an expansion. We have this expansion. So far, every green candle or green expansion has its equivalent expansion closing through it, overlapping through it. It is efficient. Goes up, down. Some might say, yes, price needs to go back up. Why? There's nothing that says price has to go back up. We overlap it here. We had a continuation block. According to me, price should keep going down. But this is inefficient. No, it's not. It's just going in one direction. You want inefficiency because you want a reversal. At this point, when we have a close above, and we have this continuation block, I believe price will either close above this or we close below this. Nothing more. And it will stay there, close above it. Done. Because this is not the inefficiency. This was the end of the range where we had this continuation block. Now price has to leave it either up or down. I don't know how to explain, but but I know it. I don't know. I've seen it so much. I do not know how to explain it. And it's just there. I don't know. There's an inefficiency that is not about candles.